Hey there, everybody! It's Oversoul. It's been a while since I've done a traditional update video, as most of my updates now tend to be done through the podcast. But I know that not all of you listen to that, and these update videos, by comparison, are significantly shorter than a whole podcast episode, and also are exclusively focused on the updates, whereas on the podcast, that's just the beginning of the show, and then there's a bunch of other stuff after the fact. But anyways, just wanted to come at y'all with a little bit of updating, because I know recently I've been pretty consistent upload schedule wise. You've been getting a replay every Monday, a Let's Play on Tuesdays and Thursdays, most of them podcast on Wednesdays, well, between Wednesday and Friday. I've been trying to be somewhat more consistent, but here's the thing. Those of you that have been paying attention for a while will know that I've been on the job hunt still, because the job I was doing with the school didn't work out, because of budget cuts and stuff. But also, that I had been working recently at a retail store but not getting a lot of hours because they don't make enough money to provide hours. And they've started making some changes lately to how they handle the whole register thing, and it is not vibing with anybody. So I was still on the hunt for work, and I did find work that is willing to give me more hours in my first week than the other job ever has. Like, with the retail job, I was lucky to get like 4 to 8 hours a week. With this new job that I found, I'll be getting at least 20 to 30 hours a week. Still not great, but better. And just a stepping stone, but it sort of long term, because this is the kind of job where if you do well, if you do good, they will provide you with more hours. They'll be like, okay, yeah, there's someone we can rely on. We'll give them more hours. Plus, there's a lot of opportunity to cover people and yada yada. So, anyways, I'm not going to say where I'm working because I'm not in the habit of doxing myself. But I will say that it's in the food industry again, which, I know I have history with and all that. But this particular place is very slow business wise in comparison to Taco Bell, like somewhere like Taco Bell or McDonald's. Like in comparison to places like that, this one is kind of mellow, especially at night, and they're not open nearly as late as the other two either. So, this is a bit more my speed. It gets a little busy around lunch, but I was there for lunch yesterday, my first day, and it got a little busy, but it still wasn't anywhere near as bad as I've seen, other places. So, anyways, that's where I'm at right now. So I did find work somewhere else that gives me more hours. That being said, though, that does mean that over here on the YouTube side of things, I'm probably not going to be as consistent schedule wise. You're still going to get content weekly, but what days exactly that content is and the consistency thereof may change. And you may notice that I take days off on YouTube every week, but those days off happen to change. Sometimes you'll get an upload Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then nothing on Thursday, and then you get something on Friday. And then maybe on the weekend. I tend not to upload on the weekends much unless I have something outside of what I'm normally doing. Like if there's a reactions and highlights or a let's play with a guest or something, some filler content, I dump it on the weekends. But the main replays, let's plays, and podcast all tend to go up on the weekdays, primarily. So, so it's more difficult to find the time because I'm working the mornings right now, and like since I don't live by myself, I don't. I live in it's kind of a small apartment. There aren't as many opportunities for me to record or work on stuff as you might think. It's easier for me to get that stuff done when I'm by myself. But today, for example, I'm recording this update video real quick, and then I gotta go get ready for work. right away. I was hoping to have the latest podcast episode out today, but that didn't work out because I got home yesterday, and then I relaxed for a bit, and then I made dinner, and then I did work on it for a little while. Or no, I watched the latest episode of SNL, and then I did work on the podcast for a little while, but then I just got too tired, and I kind of just passed out. I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for a few minutes. Next thing I know, it's tomorrow. So, that's how it happens. So yeah, that wasn't, that did not go according to plan. So that's going to have to be something that I'm going to try to finish when I get home today, instead, and hopefully get that out there because I don't want it to take too long. I'm trying to get better about the podcast coming out more recently after it's been recorded, so all the information talked about on it is more relevant. And for those of you who don't know, it's not just me on the show. My good buddy Nick, aka the Vaping Fiend, is on there too. And any of you who are fans of wrestling will probably want to tune in because he talks about wrestling stuff a lot. And in fact, in the most recent episode that is coming out, the one I'm working on now that's coming out this week, look out for that. There will be a lot of wrestling talk because he went to a wrestling event at the Metro Center in Rockford, Illinois, and he met Cody Rhodes and took a picture with him. And then there was WrestleMania 40 and the Bray Wyatt documentary that hit Peacock, and he talked about all of that. In a previous episode, like 2 episodes ago, the one about the greatest villains of all time, I think he talked about WWE 2K24. So there's a lot of that. But also, for those who don't know, it's a pop culture focused podcast where we talk about movies, video games, TV shows, anything pop culture related. Every episode starts with life updates / small talk, and then we get into the media corner where we do reviews, news, reviews, and recommendations. Pop culture news, reviews on things we've seen or played, and recommendations for things we've started but haven't finished but think you should check out. So those are what we do, and then there's a topic. There's a topic that we get into. So that's what that is. If anyone's ever been curious, and didn't know yet. But also, you can see Nick in a few Let's Plays that I've done recently too. In fact, him and Ryan, who you all know over here as Rayquaza, but on Twitch as RMK Buried Alive, both did a episode of Fortnite with me maybe like a month or 2 ago. That was actually pretty fucking funny because Nick was still fairly new to the game at that point and made a lot of rookie mistakes, such as jumping off a cliff and then wondering why he lost all his health. And so we had to carry him almost quite literally sometimes throughout most of that, and it made for some hilarious moments. My favorite is the him jumping off a cliff part, and then dying when he lands, and then being like, "Someone, I need revived," and then Ryan runs up to revive him, and then he starts crawling, and he's like, "No, stop moving! If you move, it stops the revive. You can't..." Like, it's just a fucking disaster in the best possible way, and I think you guys would love it. Enjoy. It's a funny one. But anywho, so that's what's going on with me personally for the most part, and also I've been spending more time online with a good friend of mine. She's been a real good friend for years. And hi Sky, I know you might be watching this. And we've been playing some like Resident Evil 5. We started playing Resident Evil 6 a while back, but then I was dealing with all that eviction shit with the previous landlord and yada yada. So we kind of stopped, and then we picked it back up recently, but we started with Resident Evil 5, and we're going to go back, we're going to restart 6 at some point, but we finished it recently. We're going to do the DLC, but we have been friends online for a long time, but recently we've gotten to talking more, and there might be, or there is some feelings starting to stir on both ends, it seems, and we're just kind of like spending time together and kind of seeing where that goes, if it goes anywhere, just, and even if it doesn't, it's still, we've grown pretty close. We are, I guess, what you would call platonically intimate. The kind of people who not dating, but would still probably be cuddling if they were sitting next to each other on the couch watching a movie, that kind of thing. Um, it's more common than you think these days. So, and for a lot of people, it's actually a preferred way of doing things. And both of us kind of fall on the asexual spectrum. I'm demisexual and she's ace flux. So there really are no ulterior motives or any crazy shit like that there. Like, uh, it is all purely emotional, you know? So, but, so yeah, we've been hanging out and stuff, so I've been trying to make the time for that. And then my good buddy Mythos over at Frost and Fists, every Friday night, my good man, he does a live stream, right, where he talks about tabletop gaming, wargaming stuff. Warhammer 4000 or 40K, primarily, I believe, is the main venue there, and or the main topic of interest. And he actively chats with the chat. He's very responsive to the chat and gets into full on discussions with them about movies and video games, and it's really fun. I think maybe sometimes, and it's a little bit my fault, but maybe sometimes to the detriment of the people who are there for the wargaming stuff. I don't know as much about that, so when I'm there, I tend to talk to him about stuff that I do know about, and I might, distract him a little bit. And I'm sorry, Mythos. Uh, but no, his live streams are great. If you have any interest in that tabletop gaming stuff, definitely go check it out. And even if you don't, just go show my man some support. But that's something I've been doing on Friday nights as well, has been trying to check out his live streams whenever I can. No guarantee I'll be able to make them all now, because the kind of job I just got is, a sporadic schedule job, not a consistent one. But this coming Friday, I'll be free, so expect me to be there, good buddy. All right, anyways, so all of that being said, right now, current Let's Play is Bramble the Mountain King, which I recorded way back in, like, November or something. I don't fucking remember. Quite frankly, it was like, it was months ago. And current replay is The Last of Us Part 2, which I am recording in real time. However, the next replay coming out after that one will finally be the next part of Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. And it's a direct sequel to Danganronpa 1, focusing on Makoto's sister out in the world, like what's going on in the real world. And this time it's a city-wide killing game that you have to escape from in a third-person survival horror shooter game a la Resident Evil. But, with Danganronpa cartooniness. So, it's the only game in the series like that. The rest are visual novels, and one entry in the story is an anime. But all that stuff will be covered here eventually. But the next part of the story is coming soon, and that is one that I'm also in the process of recording, and that one will be heavily pre-recorded by the time you finally see it. So The Last of Us Part 2 is happening in real time, but the next replay will have been recorded way in advance. Also, off camera, I've been playing Alone in the Dark remake, the 2024 remake, and I kind of really like it. Speaking of Resident Evil, inventory, puzzles, third-person shooter horror game in a mansion. So I'm thinking once I finish it, because this one's seriously a top 10 contender, once I finish it, I might do a replay of that too, because I kind of want y'all to see it. I do. I really do. Like, it's not... Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. Like, it's a solid 8 out of 10 game, I would say. It's not perfect. The acting is a little stiff, and the melee combat is janky as fuck. But outside of that, though, it's, I like the atmosphere, the puzzles, the Lovecraftian narrative. It's got Jodie Comer and David Harbour in it, which is probably why that kind of hyped me up a bit, which is why I was a little disappointed in the acting, because I was like, okay, these two should be better than this, but it just feels a little stiff, a little wooden, like they phoned it in. But otherwise, it might also be intentional too, because it's like a kind of like a noir style throwback thing. But, either way though, it's still a really good game, and it's a really intriguing story, and you have to play it twice, a la Resident Evil 2, in order to get the full story. You know, you got to play it once as Emily and once as Detective Carnby, and it's also the only way to get all the trophies too if you go for that. Like, if you know, some collectibles can only be gotten as one or the other. You can't get every item as both characters or as one character. So I definitely want to do that. I definitely want to do that. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Oh, also, my old Hate Stalker is back, or a new one. I don't even know or care, but I tell you what. So basically, what happens is every, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months, somebody randomly pops up on my channel and clicks the dislike button on everything I upload. Like, it's like they subscribe to me specifically so then they see when I upload stuff so they can hit dislike on it. And that is an unhinged level of stalker behavior. Like, well-adjusted and healed people don't do shit like that. That is the kind of stuff that people who need serious help do. But I will say this. What it means, you know, I'm not mad about it at all, because what it means to me is that whoever this mystery person is, I'm living rent-free in their head. Yes, sirree, Boba Fett. I sure am. And, you know, that makes it a them problem, less than a me problem. And, or as the kids like to say, that sounds like an issue, not an ish me. Anyways, though, whoever that person is, quite frankly, fuck them. You know, it's one of a few things, and I have been through so much therapy and stuff at this point that even though I do still overthink some things, it's not shit like this. If anything, though, I do see it as an opportunity to make some good, you know, comedy moments. You know, kind of like, you know, Pete Davidson in his stand-up, he had an actual stalker show up at his house, and he did a whole bit about it. It was hilarious. So, you know, in the spirit of that energy, all I can say is I know it's one of maybe 3 possibilities. It's either someone who does personally know me that I pissed off at some point, or I'm not talking to anymore, or one of my crazy exes or some shit like that, and they, you know, it's their, you know, just holding a grudge and whatever, you know, or, 2, it's some kind of unhinged fanboy that got mad because I reviewed one of their favorite games and didn't give it a perfect score, or something like that, because I had the audacity to have nuance and media literacy when talking about media. Oh my god, I didn't just blindly praise something or blindly hate something like some kind of narrow-minded fool. I actually, you know, take the time. I'm trying to bring back nuance and media literacy into reviews, because the internet is so full of stupid people that say dumb shit like, hey, go woke, go broke, or game is bad because female character ugly, you know, which, by the way, attractiveness is completely subjective, so that's a bad faith argument. There's no objective measurement for attractiveness. There is no rule or standard or law that says what attractiveness is. It's not possible for that to be objective, because you ask 10 different people what they find attractive, you'll get 10 different answers. And yeah, there'll be some overlap, but there will be something unique in each answer. Guarantee it. You will not get 2 answers that are 100% exactly the same. You will not. I promise you. So, yeah. So that's a stupid argument anyways, because who's to say that, and a lot of these female characters that some people say are ugly or whatever, I don't really think they are, and maybe I'm the wrong person to judge, because I literally can't, I can't be sexually attracted to someone unless there's an emotional connection. That's what demisexual is. But I can still appreciate someone's aesthetically appeasing appearance. You know, I can still tell that. You know, one of the examples, I think, like the most recent Star Wars Outlaws game, they're saying the main character is really ugly and weird, and, you know, because of the haircut and the face and all that. She looks exactly like Peter Quill's mom in the Guardians of the Galaxy game. They're going for, this is what teenagers look like in the 70s style. And that's what I mean, like, you can tell the difference between people who who, when they leave those comments, are completely uncultured. Um, and the people who at least have some sense of pop culture background. Some people are just commenting from a place of pure ignorance sometimes. But yeah, so because I had the audacity to, and my biggest one lately was, I'll tell you this, I posted a review for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the subreddit for on the 7 remake subreddit, and that was a mistake because Reddit is almost as bad as 4chan these days in terms of toxicity. Those people are a mindless hive mind of echo chamber nonsense. Like, that is where the fanboys congregate to hate on everyone who says even the tiniest little thing negative about something. It is not a safe place anymore. It's bad as Twitter. It's as bad as 4chan. There's almost no good places on the internet to have these smart discussions anymore, which is why I started podcasts, because every internet forum is now an echo chamber, and if your opinion deviates in even the slightest from that of everyone else, then they'll dogpile on you. So my review for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth basically boiled down to, I love the story, the characters, the character development, especially Barrett. The way he's handled in this game is way better. The visuals are beautiful in graphics mode, not so much in performance mode. It's really blurry over there. That's just a visual fact. Digital Foundry said so. You know, and Digital Foundry only reports facts. They don't do opinion reviews. They're about the graphics and performance. It's technical reviews. Um and stuff like that. And I was like, the combat is fun. I really like the ending. The ending was divisive for a lot of people, but I fucking loved it. Stuff like that. And I was like, my only problem with the game is that some of the side quests are really boring and badly designed, and the level design around Gungaga and Cosmo Canyon is really tedious and confusing and frustrating to navigate, which makes the world intel really frustrating to navigate and do. And the world intel is already tedious to begin with because we're literally climbing radio towers to open more of the map like it's Far Cry 3. Stuff like that. It basically boiled down to, most of the game is good, but some of the side quests and world intel and mini games feel like a tedious slog and really ruin the pacing, especially around chapters 9 and 10. The game starts off amazing, and then it kind of plateaus a bit, and you're on solid ground for a while, and then it takes a huge fucking nosedive about 3/4 of the way through, but then it picks back up again, and it absolutely nails the landing. Like, perfect ending for me. So the game overall was an 8.5 out of 10. Now, here's the thing. People who don't understand nuance or media literacy seem to think that if content is optional, like side quests and stuff, that means that you can't judge them, that you can't include them in your review. The nature of it being optional means that you're not allowed to critique it. And that is a stupid and bad faith argument, in my opinion, because that's like saying that, I'm paying for the steak, and the side dish that comes with it, the fries or the broccoli or whatever, is basically complimentary. So I'm not allowed to complain about that food if it's not made right. Like if my fries are still frozen or the broccoli, is overcooked, I can't be like, hey, this is wrong, could you redo it? I just have to deal with it because I didn't pay. I paid for the steak. No, fuck all that. I paid for the whole thing. It's a part of it. Yeah, I could just eat around it and not pay attention to it, but why would I do that when, if I'm paying $70 for a game, you bet your ass I'm judging every little tiny last bit of it, well, not judging so much as reviewing, critiquing, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back the idea that you can love something, adore it even, but still notice its flaws, still have certain issues with it, or you can dislike something, have it not be your cup of tea, but still show respect for it. Like the Soulsborne games for me. I don't necessarily enjoy them. I've played them for fun on the channel, just good times with friends. They made for great reactions and stuff, but I would never play them by myself. I just don't enjoy that level of challenge but I respect the shit out of them. I think they're objectively good games, regardless of my subjective taste. And that is what it means to have nuance and media literacy. You know, Kingdom Hearts is my all-time favorite franchise, but boy is it full of flaws. There is a lot of problems with it, most of which are primarily based around anime cliches. So, and there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts shit in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy because of Tetsuya Nomura. But anyways, I digress. The point is that me having the audacity to be like, hey, I like this game, but I have a few problems with it. The fact that I had the audacity to not think it was a perfect 10 out of 10 and completely flawless means that I'm public enemy number one in the eyes of some people. And that is why they come and they do that. So it's pretty funny, actually, and pathetic, but also funny. Mostly pathetic, but hilarious too. Anyways, the third possibility is that I just pissed off some kind of bad person online and they're just coming at me now, you know, this kind of... There was an IGN video uploaded a while ago where they talked about... So the remaster trilogy of the Tomb Raider games has a warning in the beginning that some of the content may be kind of dated, you know, because they're older games, and people are losing their minds over it. They're melting. The thin-skinned bitches are getting so upset at the fact that there's 3 seconds of text warning about it in the beginning. And because they don't understand compromise. They don't understand middle ground compromise. To me, that's the right way to do it. Keep the content in. Don't censor it. Don't get rid of it. But put a warning at the beginning being like, hey, this shit's a little outdated, just so you know. You know, it is what it is. It's a product of its time. You know, you don't have to play it. But these guys think that even putting that content warning in there is somehow too much. And that the world is too sensitive. And, you know, God, I can't stand these stupid fucks. Look, the whole thing about that is that I think the mature and adult thing to do, the grown-up and well-adjusted thing to do, is to compromise and meet in the middle in most situations. These idiots that are like, even 3 seconds of text are too much, they're just being sensitive crybabies over that. That's, like, ridiculous. Just be grateful that the content is still in the game to begin with, since you want it in there so badly for some reason. I understand art preservation and all that, but some people seem to enjoy stuff that's racist or homophobic a little too much. You know what I mean? And, like, Persona 3 Reload recently did a... Persona 3 Reload changed the beach scene so that instead of being a transgender woman, that the boys, they find out that she's trans and they freak out about that. And they're like, oh, never mind, we don't want a girl with a wang. You know, they changed it so that now she's a conspiracy theorist instead, and they freak out over that. And I think that's hilarious, although there is a good argument for that being kind of trans erasure. There was a better way they could have handled it, where maybe she's still trans, but the boys treat it with a level of respect instead of, you know, freaking out and running away, because, you know, that was funny back in the day, but it's not really funny now. And... you know, there was an opportunity, there was a learning opportunity there, but I still appreciate what they did because they turned it around and they used it to make fun of stupid conspiracy theorists, primarily flat earthers who think the sun is fake. And that was hilarious. And I know I pissed off some people because I uploaded a clip of that and I specified exactly in it they were making fun of conspiracy theorists and MLM, multi-level marketing, because that shit's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. Don't fall for it. So, yeah, I thought that was hilarious, and I know someone got pissed off. So, it is what it is. But, look, the way I look at it, if I'm pissing off racists, if I'm pissing off bigots, if I'm pissing off conspiracy theorists or red hat wearing cultists, then I'm doing something right. It means I'm on the right side of history. I tend not to get political over on this channel too much, because I don't really want to alienate people, but I also have a zero tolerance for intolerance policy. You know, to this day, I'm constantly deleting transphobic comments off of this video I uploaded from the Outlast Whistleblower DLC, where the groom tries to, you know, chop your bits off. And I get a lot of transphobic comments on that video, and every last one of them gets deleted. And, you know, that's probably something that pissed someone off too. Who cares? But the good news is, unless you have some kind of add-on installed, you can't even see dislikes on videos. I will say though, YouTube has been pretty shitty lately though with their stuff. Like my latest episode of Bramble the Mountain King had 5 likes on it yesterday, and today it only has 2. It's like YouTube removed a bunch of them for some reason. And I don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe they thought they were spam likes because they came so quick or something like that, but but they don't have but they won't remove the spam dislikes. They'll remove likes that they think are spam, but they won't remove dislikes that are obvious spam. YouTube's priorities are a little fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and their copyright system is broken as shit, too. I fought with that recently. Luckily, I won with the whole Edith Finch thing, which, God, a video from forever ago with music that's public domain by a composer who's been dead for years. Like, that, it's fucking stupid. But, I got a notification the other day like, hey, some videos might be using your content. We found these copyright matches, and it's literally just Let's Plays of the same games that I've done, which is bullshit. It would be so easy for me to abuse that. I could click all of those, be like, remove, 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 and those people's videos would be blocked. They would be removed. They would be copyright claimed, and they would get a strike on their channel, and I would be a piece of shit villain asshole if I did that. And yet, YouTube is sitting here presenting me with the opportunity to do so because its copyright system is broken and stupid. So, yeah. I have no intention of retiring anytime soon, but at some point I am eventually going to be done with this shit because it's getting less and less worth it, quite frankly. And as much as I enjoy putting this content out, I just, sometimes the stress definitely outweighs the positives, I'm not stressed by the weird stalker. They definitely have issues that they need to talk to their therapist about. But YouTube's broken system, their algorithms and their copyright shit and all that stuff needs a complete overhaul because it clearly doesn't work the way it's supposed to. It is broken as hell, and it's so stupid, and they're constantly making new rules. I'm not censoring the gore in my horror games. YouTube can eat my ass. I'm not doing that. Fuck it. Like, I'll be careful about cursing within the first, 2 minutes of the episode, but after that, they can eat shit. So, yeah, whatever. I'm not selling out my integrity for the sake of becoming successful. This is a hobby anyways, But all that being said, though, yeah, that's all I really had. Also, though, I am working on recording a Let's Play of Oxenfree 2 now, currently. So that will probably be the next thing after Bramble, assuming I actually finish it by then. I'm trying, but again, with the new job and everything else I'm doing and, trying to balance, it's going to be a little difficult. So don't expect a consistent upload schedule out of me, please. Just kind of take what you get as it comes. It's the best I can tell you. I upload when I can. I tried to maintain a consistent schedule, but life just gets in the way, and I edit all my own shit. I don't have an editor, so it is what it is. But I appreciate your understanding. That's it for this little update video. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to click that like, speaking of algorithms, remember to click that like button. It's either over here or over here. I don't know because the camera, I won't see which way this actually looks until it's uploaded. But anyways, it's one of those places. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you possibly on another day, definitely at another time, and likely in another video. Okay, goodbye. Oh, I don't know when I'm doing another live stream, but I'm thinking of live streaming the DLC for Resident Evil 4, the Ada Wong Separate Ways one, at some point, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right, bye.